Let's answer this question before us. It is taken from VCAA 2017, Northern Hemisphere, Paper 1, Question 7. A badminton competition is held between 4 players, Amanda, Ben, Carlos, and Darius. In the competition, each player competes in one game with each of the other 3 players. So we've only got one game between each of the other 3 players. The matrix S squared below shows the 2-step dominance that each player has over the other players. So this right here represents a 2-step dominance, which means that A has 2 2-step dominances over B. A has 1 2-step dominance over C. So it's not giving us who beat who through a 1-step dominance. It's saying who has a 2-step dominance. And we'll talk more about what that means soon. From the matrix above, which of the following events must have occurred during the competition? Ben beat Darius, Ben beat Carlos, Carlos beat Amanda, Darius beat Amanda, Darius beat Carlos. What we need to immediately recognize is that all of these scenarios here are 1-step dominances. They are 1-step dominances. Now, what we've been given in this matrix here is 2-step dominances, haven't we? This is a 2-step dominance when this is 1-step dominances. So we kind of have to go from 2-step dominances to 1-step dominances. And the best way to do this is to draw for yourself, in this situation, a little diagram. And now we're going to consider what each of these things are telling us. All right, let's begin with the first one. So A obviously doesn't have any dominances over itself, any 2-step dominances over itself. But this is saying that A has 2 2-step dominances over B. So that means if we come look at our diagram here, A has 2 2-step dominances over B. What does it mean to have a 2-step dominance? Well, in this scenario, what it must mean is that A has beaten C, and then C has beaten B. This is a 2-step dominance. It hasn't beaten it directly, but A beat a team, and then that team beat that team. So that means, A is obviously better than B, because it beat a team that then beat it. So we have 1 2-step dominance there. But as you can see, it has 2 2-step dominances. So that must mean that A also beat D, and that D beat B. So that's kind of where we begin. So the fact that, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, and we're told that we have 2 2-step dominances, this is the only way that it can occur. So let's just come here and just write down very explicitly what it is that we've found here. So what we're saying, based on this, is that A beat C and D, who both beat B. So A beat B and C, who both beat B. Cool. Let's now go to our next one. And that's, we really need to start with that one there. Then we come to our next one here, which is C. And now this is saying that A has 1 2-step dominance over C. So that means we need to figure out somehow that A can have a 2-step dominance over C. Well, the only way that this can happen, it can't be A beat B, because then B doesn't beat C. See how the arrow's going the other way? That must mean it must be A beat D and D beat C. So if we come over here, what this one is telling me, it is telling me that A beat D, who beat C. That's the only way that that can happen based on what we know in the orange there. So A beat D, who beat C. That means Darius beat Carlos. E is my answer. Darius beat Carlos. And we're done, just like that. We don't have to consider this one down here because we've already got our answer, but just for fun, we'll do it anyway. So what is this one here telling me? Well, this is saying that D has 1 2-step dominance over B. So D has 1 2-step dominance over B. Well, it's right there. D beat C, C beat B. So we can write this down, but it doesn't help us at all because we already know it. It's saying that D beat C, who beat, and let me keep this the same. Let me write it down here. Who beat B. That's so ugly. B. D beat C, who beat B. Okay, and there we go. We don't have to finish off this diagram. Even doing this thing in blue was a waste of time, wasn't it? Because we could immediately see we had our answer there. That's where we should have walked away. But what are you going to do? Hopefully you found this helpful and you understand it. I'll see you later.